get it going. So, for those who watched the last stream, we are 6-2 with, let me remind myself of this deck. This looks pretty good. Veil Hunter, Jaxi, Shiro, Tempest, Silverguard, Radiant Dragoon, Saberspine, Tiger, Blazehound, Mogwai, Double Martyrdom, Afterblaze, Double Lycium Brawler, Hangheart, Nasher, Primus, Thornnealer, Holy Immolation, Second Sun ×2, Dancing Blades, Necroseer, Death Blighter, Silverbeak, Dark Nemesis, and Blood Tora. Alright. So, for those who aren't familiar with the deck or don't remember the details because they watched it a while ago, this is a pretty normal, pretty good deck. It's been performing well. From what I recall, I won a lot of games by just sort of placing some kind of irritating, repeatable threat. So I stuck a Veil Hunter or a Jaxi token, used Argian's Bloodborne spell to give it +2 power, or Shiro to give it +1, possibly repeatedly, and got a lot of value off that. Or just kind of overwhelmed my opponent with piles of stats. Like, I have bees, which are massive. I have plenty of, like, big-ish mid-range minions, like this Dancing Blades, this Necroseer, Primus. I have a couple of nice sort of win condition bombs, like Silverbeak and Dark Nemesis. And there's quite a few cards that I basically took a punt on that have turned out to overperform. Like, Nasher I've not played with before, and this has been actually a lot better than I expect. Like, it's good against artifacts because it essentially hits twice. It's good as a threat, like it forces your opponent to spread out and run away from it. Or position awkwardly and then kill it. It's sort of like a neutral, common Taigete. You know, the fact that it's even comparable to Taigete makes it actually pretty interesting. Hangheart turns out to be quite good. I mean, he's a ranged minion in Gauntlet, so that's not the worst thing ever. And I like how he can heal himself from like a Tempest or chip damage, but I don't think that's come up yet. He's also quite good against other ranged minions, because he can absorb their counterattacks. Afterblaze is amazing. This card is ridiculous. Just so much tempo, so much board presence, and it doesn't even cost a card if you play it on a minion with Zeal, of which I have a few. I got lucky, I have a Holy Immolation, so there's a couple of just really good cards. There's also some duds, like we have a Thornnealer. I'm fortunate enough not to have had to cast it yet. Got a Blood Tora, haven't been able to cast it yet, but again, fortunately haven't needed to. I was sort of disappointed to pick this Silverbeak, but actually it's really overperformed, just having this huge, beefy minion that the opponent can't really easily deal with when you've already been shoving large statted bombs down their throat for the previous several turns. And we even have a little bit of card draw. We have a Blazehound, we have a Mogwai, who is a bit awkward, but pretty good. And we have Martyrdom as kind of a catch-all answer to things. I quite like having unconditional removal in Gauntlet, given the opportunity. Because, you know, sometimes your opponent just has a thing and you have to deal with it. The one thing we don't have is Dispel. I don't think there's a single Dispel here. We have the 2 Martyrdoms, and we have a Blood Tier Alchemist for stuff like Pyromancers and ranged minions. So we're not... and Tempest. So we're not entirely devoid of ways to deal with troublesome things, but we are pretty... We are more vulnerable than we might be to things like amplification or other afterblazes. So this might be a very short stream if I just go 6-3, but hopefully we'll do a bit better than that. And you know, if I crash out, there's always more ladder. Vitruvian at 6-2 probably has Pyromancers or Obelisks that are good. So we want to replace aggressively for Blood Tier Alchemist and Martyrdom so we can deal with early awful things. I don't hate this hand. I think I'm just doing the obvious replace of the expensive cards. Like Mogwai's fine. A bit difficult to set up, but if the opponent has a slow start, we're sort of maybe pretty good just jamming it on turn 2. Afterblaze on a Jaxi token is fantastic, so if the opponent doesn't dispel this, we're in pretty good shape. But I really like to see a Blood Tear. Oh my. That is the opposite of a Blood Tear Alchemist. Primus. Primus is fine. I mean, we've got plenty of options for what to do with our mana next turn. Ooh, Veil Hunt is another good one, actually. Although, I mean... Ooh. Interesting. Right, so the opponent really wants their 5-drop. In these situations, I'm always just really tempted to play... to just be mean, basically, and play the biggest minion I can here. But I also really want to play this Veil Hunter, which is kind of a bit at odds. So I need to replace something. I mean, I can do like Veil Hunter Afterblaze, make a 3/6 ranged, but I'm not wasting that here. Like, if it gets answered, you know, all he needs is 2 damage and I lose, you know, this terrifying play. But setting this up now does seem quite good, because Vet don't have that many ways of dealing with it. And I feel like a Siphon Energy might have just gone on this Jaxi. So what I could do is play... I could play Mogwai here, it'll just die. I think I need to replace and look for a better 3-drop, ideally. Let's replace this Nasher. Another 4-drop, okay. So I could just keep this Mana Tile in my back pocket. But I think I like the option of playing... I think I like just playing the Primus. We can set up Veil Hunter next turn, honestly, like... Let's just play this and get some of my opponent's removal out of the way. Ooh, Dancing Blades, that's nice. We can't really take this Mana Tile, though, which is unfortunate. Like, the downside of this play is it leaves you unable to take this. I mean, the opponent's going to use it anyway, so that's not a big deal, right? My opponent will probably play 2-drop, 3-drop or something, using this tile. But I think, you know, when your opponent makes this opening and they really want... They presumably really want this Mana Tile. Assuming they're not bluffing and don't want you to take the vertical center. I guess that could be a thing, but I don't really know why that would matter so much. Like, generally, I would assume the opponent going here means they really want this Mana Tile. So, taking it from them seems quite good. I've never actually seen this work. You know, the opponent almost always has something to steal this tile. They have some minion they can play. What's this? Alcal. Blast and ranged. Well, oh dear. That was lucky. First wish, yeah. So we need to draw a Martyrdom stat, because we're just going to lose to this. Let's see. It's 3 power. So if I attack my opponent with this Jaxi, it has a decent chance of... so it's only got a 1 in 3 chance of spawning badly, which is actually not bad. It can't attack this turn, but I think I'll replace this Mogwai, because it's right now obviously trivial for my opponent to just punish with this Owl. Another 5-drop, not really what I'm looking for. Okay, so I could just play Lycium Brawler. Opponent attacks with Alcal and their General. The Alcal can move away freely, which makes it very frightening. I think I'm going to do this first and see what it does. I'm hoping it doesn't spawn here. It spawns far away, okay. So we have a decent option of just giving this +2 power. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. It puts Arjun far away, but I kind of like the idea of just playing this, just to take this tile, and buffing the Jaxi. And hopefully I don't get too punished for this. Martyrdom, okay, so we have an answer next turn. We might lose some value still, but the board is reasonably resilient to it. So the alcohol survives on 1 HP if it attacks this, which means we can top deck Blood Tier Alchemist to kill it. We can also kill it with Dancing Blades, assuming one of these minions survives. So I think it's probably more likely that the alcohol is going to be used to kill one of these. Like Xerix plus alcohol can kill this for free, which has got to be pretty attractive to the opponent. I think at that point we move this in, attack, Dancing Blades to finish it off, and keep the 3-1. It would be good to keep the 3-1 if we can. So the opponent might actually like move the alcohol down here and shoot this. Which, if this survives, that's kind of okay, because it's got celerity, so it can reach it easily for Dancing Bladesing no matter where this ends up. Going here is interesting, I guess. So are you entropic decaying? Yeah. That is fine. I'm happy for that to get entropically decayed. That means nothing else is happening this turn. So let's go over there. Gonna shoot the Jaxi. Right, so we have the Dancing Blades play. Awesome. Alright. So that makes this turn pretty predictable. I don't think we have any options that aren't just kill this, play Dancing Blades. Like, we can't allow this to live. It's far too powerful. What can we replace into? Having Arjun over here is not necessarily bad because of Veil Hunter. Like, I want to sort of play him here, and next time I can play Veil Hunter, Zeal it, and then move over and kill a Dervish if it hasn't just attacked this Primus. So I think we... I mean, it would be good to hit Blood Tier Alchemist, because I can just play this now. And like... Oh, I don't know, that doesn't even do anything. Could like Zeal this up, but it's not very helpful. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to keep this hand. I think I'd rather just play Dancing Blades this turn than play any of my other creatures. Like, they're all a bit little. And I think Arjune's going to move forwards. We need him in the fight to get Second Sun online. Oh, this is not bad. We can make a... What is that? A 6-7 next turn. And cycle for 5 mana. Or we can play an 8-8 for 5 mana and the same number of total cards. Seems better. As long as the opponent doesn't have a Dispel, which I think is a reasonably good assumption by this point. Like, Siphon Energy on that Jaxi or the token would have been pretty backbreaking. At least from the opponent's perspective, because they get to have the only uncontested range minion. Instead, they took damage on the Alcohol, leaving it more vulnerable to all sorts of things like Tempest and Blood Tear and Blistering Scorn and so on. Which I think they wouldn't have done had they the option. Pretty sure the opponent isn't holding a Dispel, or at least hasn't been. It's kind of harder to make these reasonings in Duelist than in other games, because the opponent can look at multiple cards a turn, but oh, that's interesting. So the opponent wants to use a card to get rid of that. Okay. That is a big Frostbone Naga. Have to admit, that attack was a bit odd. That's quite aggressive. So this is Provoke, so I can't move here, move this, roar, kill this. I can Afterblaze, leaving me with a 6-4 Dancing Blaze, but I don't get to draw a card if I do that. I can see if I draw a Tempest, which will allow me to trade them. I can Martyrdom it, which leaves me with the 4-4, but not much else to do with my turn. I guess I can play Veil Hunter in the corner, move this forward to protect it. It's kind of okay. I can try and kill this myself in a couple of turns. Can you just play like Veil Hunter, Roar, Windblade Adept? That seems a bit fragile. They're all like fine options, really. I like Martyrdom, Windblade Adept's fine as well. I feel like Martyrdom ranged minion's more powerful than that, though. Yeah, I think we can go for the Martyrdom on Let's play this in the corner. Move up here. So now we've got a ranged minion set up, and we're threatening to roar it next turn. Vitruvian don't really have good distance removal options, so Xerix can kind of move over here to get near it for the following turn. But another Kron, really? Wow, that's actually fine. Like if that's my opponent's turn, or at least most of it, I can Iron Dervish as well. It is weird that they're sort of keen on staying around here rather than threatening my my Veil Hunter. So I guess at this point I'm sort of obliged to roar this and trade, or Afterblaze it and trade. I think I'd like to Afterblaze this, to be honest. Just having 3/6 ranged is pretty good. I can move it up. No, that seems bad. I don't think I like anything that involves bringing the Veil Hunter closer to the enemy. I think Nash is a bit too slow here. Dark Nemesis. Solid. Let's see. So I can power this up. Shoot the 2/2. Roll the Dancing Blades, trade with Kron. Move up, kill this, play Windblade Adept. It's a pretty decent play. Leaves me with this big minion a distance away. My opponent can't really get at. I am, like, again, really pinning my hopes on my opponent not drawing a ranged Dispel at this point. But I think that's a reasonable thing to hope for. Let's go with here. Okay, so we're a card behind in hand, but we're ahead on board. Looking reasonably healthy, and the hand is pretty stacked. We have the option of like roaring this and playing Dark Nemesis next turn, which I think is pretty filthy. Probably still replacing this Blood Toro though. I guess like at this point my opponent's outs are either Dispel or heavy damage to the face, which might make this kind of good because it doesn't care that much about either. Is that a Repulsor Beast? Is my opponent just waving their cursor around impatiently? That is a Repulsor Beast, sure. That's interesting and kind of scary. Ah! Okay. I mean, considering that was essentially a 2-card combo, I'm not upset. Okay, so I move here, roar, I guess kill the dog, and Nemesis. That's a play. Let's replace that. Saber Spine is good. Other options: Second Sun, attack this. I do like playing the Dark Nemesis. Oh, the downside is Dominate Will. We've definitely reached the point in the match where I have to care about Dominate Will now. I think I need to be near my opponent. So I think we're going here. I don't know if I even kill the 2/2. Like, I'd probably just go face with this. Play the Dark Nemesis. So this is vulnerable to Dominate Will, but then it dies to the Nemesis, so that's not all awful. Actually, maybe I shouldn't have even rolled, or should have rolled this, thinking about it. Because then if that gets dominated, it's only 3 power, the Nemesis can just eat it without too much concern. Or I can Saber Spine plus face it. Yep, Tethermancer. Oh, spicy. That is a dispel. Also suggests a lack of dominates of the will. I could also just hit it with the Dark Nemesis. Like, I don't know how much I care about the text on this thing. Maybe the answer is I don't. See what else they do. An obelisk. Okay, I kind of have to kill that, I guess. Well, I can also do Saberspine Roar, because I've got my Bloodborne spell all the time, haven't I? Saberspine Roar face hit kills the Tethermancer pretty nicely. And then I get to play one of these. Is the Gnasher going to be any good? Gnasher looks like it might be useful. Actually, like even over the Second Sun. Although, that said, I can kill everything except the Repulsor Beast this turn. So Second Sun's probably better. Martyrdom, also an option. But I like the fact that my opponent is dying. Wait a minute. Speaking of which, let's check for lethal. So, if I... No, this is in the way. This is provoked, this is provoked. If I martyrdom that, opponent goes back to 20. They still can't hit it. If I... Oh, but if I kill the provoke, I can move here. No, because I have to attack it with Arjun. I'm so close to lethal, actually. So we destroy this. Move you out the way. Kill this. Oh, the Saberspine even survives. Brilliant. I think I'm just gonna... Whoop. Apparently not. No clearing for me. That's very sad. Okay. Well... I'm still in decent shape against everything other than Dominate Will. There it goes. Okay. I think we have to do the martyrdom play. Kill this, shoot the other one with Veil Hunter, and play Second Sun. I can still replace this. What else do we get? Another Second Sun. That'll do. Yeah, I think I'm obliged to martyrdom this, which is very sad. Dominate Will is an annoying card. Yeah, I think I have to kill a 2/2 to make sure the Veil Hunter can't obviously die. But maybe I'm not even supposed to do that. Maybe I'm supposed to play around a second Dominate Will. Oh. Dominate Will is such a depressing card. Okay, that's good. Bone Swarm? More. Okay. Ugh. Oh wait, that's just as a 4/6. I think I want to attack for 10. I like that phrase. Seems like an exciting phrase. This isn't awful, but it does just kind of die unless I play it far away. Eh. Blazehound. Blazehound also solid. Where do I stand? Do I stay where I am? If I stay where I am... I think I kill one of... If I stay where I am, I think I kill this. I got a 14. Opponent has 8 damage on board. one card in hand. I can do +6 damage. Other than dominate will. Yeah, I don't think we're playing the Blaze Hound then. I think I'm doing this. Probably just killing this. And tanning him. Actually, maybe I should have played the second sun up here to play around Lightbender. That would be annoying, actually. Probably lose the game if they have Lightbender. Oh no. Okay. That's only one dispel. We can deal with that. We still win the game with the other one. Yeah. Yeah, we've got this. Opponent is dead. Oh, that was close. That was very, very close. That means we're now 7-2. Yes! Yes, we got there. We got the free Gauntlet ticket for the next stream. It also means we get to keep playing. Don't leave your Truvini in. I don't want to play on Dominate Will again. That was a really weird game. Like, I think if I'd had slightly more time... I feel like I missed Lethal on the Tethermancer turn. But I don't know what I could have done, but I feel like if I'd had like 5 minutes to think about it, it probably would have made a different play to the one I actually did. Because there were a lot of slightly different options there. Which of these is better sort of straight up? Probably the Thorn Needler, right? So I'm obviously replacing this. And then the other consideration is which 4-drop to replace. Because I think this is a 3-drop on the off chance we don't get a 2-drop. So we can play this on turn 2 even if we miss a mana tile, or the opponent Phoenix Fires our 2-drop. So we need a 3-drop. Not that this is any better against Phoenix Fire, but you know. We want this because it's Songhai. They have stuff we need to get rid of, like 4 Winds Magi and things with Killing Edge on and ranged minions and what have you. And this is a 7-win Songhai deck, so they've probably got some pretty scary stuff. This is more versatile, but I'm kind of tempted to pick the Thorn Needler on the off chance that River has to hit it to clear it. I think going face against Songhai is a pretty good strategy. So let's do that. Ooh, Holy Immolation is spicy. But we don't have a 2-drop. Do we do this? Is it worth playing Blood Tear Alchemist now when it's so valuable against High just to play a turn 2 Thorn Needler? I guess it does also let us, in theory... Well, no, that doesn't work. We can play turn 2 Holy Immolation on this tile. That doesn't do anything. Oh, but this is so good at killing Heartseekers and finishing stuff off. And it's good with Holy Immolation once we get to that amount of mana. It might actually be worth just passing the turn instead of playing this. Because the Thorn Needler is not that much of a payoff. Like, Mogwai is kind of rubbish as well, but I think we have to do this. That's not a great draw either. To be fair, playing Mogwai and getting the opponent to kill it isn't the worst thing ever. Or maybe our turn is just Martyrdom that, because it's a ranged minion. We don't like those. We don't like those at all. So let's think about replaces. We don't need this. We can play Second Sun next turn. That's not bad. It dies. It's not worth playing, but it's not bad. No, we have to kill this. Like, ranged minions are among the reasons I kept Martyrdom in the opening hand. Hello, Chief Bell. Sorry, I don't know how delayed my response is there. Only a few minutes. Welcome to my lovely stream. It's good to see you, man. Keshrai Fanblade? What is this? Oh, I can't Holy Immolation it. That's Rude. Oh, that works on Bloodborne spells? Oh my days. That's awesome. I did not realize that card was good. Alright. So, we can move around, take 5, Blood Tier it, play one of these. We can stay where we are and do the same thing, actually. Play Radiant Dragoon here, Blood Tier at the back, where the opponent can't easily get at it. Then we have 2 minions, which makes Holy Ammo better. We can even be bold and play Mogwai Blood Tier. Like, if the opponent doesn't kill this, and if she has a Phoenix Fire or something, you can get this as well. But I do like that this... Let's replace the Thorn Needler again. Yeah. I do like that this has a little bit of immediate value. It's not the best immediate value I've ever seen, but it protects this when we're ranged minion or whatever. Yeah, right. Let's just do that. Ow, my face. Let's play this here instead, it's slightly more interesting. And kill it. That's technically value. But I don't like my life total. Okay, so the opponent's now probably going to run away and play this. Arcane Heart, like maybe go here, play something, Arcane Heart there, which is pretty bad for us. Oh, that's interesting. So we can just trade the Blood Tier with that if we want, or more likely we can try and just like Holy Immolation. Twin Strike, okay. Wow, that's so much value. Oh, that's awful. The hell is this? Do I just run away and play Silverbeak? Like, she has to deal with it. Or even the Necroseer is not terrible. Like Necroseer Raw. Get a 7/4. Second Son. I think Necroseer is better against Dispel. If the opponent has one. Can also like kill this, taking another 4 damage. Doesn't seem good. No, I think I'm gonna control this tile. So this is annoying if the opponent plays Onyx Bear Seal on it. But not actually awful otherwise. I think maybe the Necroseer is better. It's either Necroseer or Second Son, probably. Do we need this Mogwai? Probably don't need this Mogwai. I need to replace something. These cards are all basically the same. It's clunky, big drops. Let's replace Mogwai for now. What do I get? Great! Great. Let's play the Necroseer, because it might tempt out a Dispel. It lets me use my Bloodborne spell, so I get slightly more value over the course of a game that goes long, if this game goes long. Ooh, my healing. And it's... Yeah, it might tempt out like an Onyx Bear Seal or a Dispel, because that's a reasonably tempting target, which will let us stick a Silverbeak or a Second Son, which are just bigger on the board. Which obviously makes them better in this case. Right, so... Well, this is interesting. So I think I see a Fizz plus Holy Immolation coming. Oh wow, so I do. Oh, that's so nice. We don't get to kill the 1/1 with this, but I don't think I care. Like, normally I would care about not getting to kill the 1/1, but... Is that James Brown song? I feel good. Right. Oh, sweet. Take that, Heartseeker. Right, so as long as the opponent doesn't have, like, Death Strike Seal or Killing Edge or some awful thing for this ranged minion, because we don't have an answer to it in hand, then we're in pretty decent shape. Arcane Heart is just so good in Gauntlet. Like, the rest of Songhai's kit is sort of questionable, I guess. Like, at first impression. I mean, generally, they're a very combo-y faction. Which makes them less well-suited to Gauntlet play, where you have to improvise and make do with whatever you've gotten. And they have a bunch of cards that just sort of don't do anything, like Artifact Defiler and that sort of stuff. 8 Gates, although it's legendary. You know, these cards are sort of generally quite difficult to make use of. Even stuff like Juxtaposition is very powerful when your deck is nothing but Chakri Avatars and 4 Winds Megais and things with Backstab and, you know, other Songhai Synergy cards. But pretty terrible in, Gauntlet for the most part, because, you know, that costs you a card and that's not a great place to be. No! I knew this would happen. I'm annoyed. Wait, they came back already? There's the Killing Edge. As we were promised. Okay, well, we're probably dead. I can draw Tempest, which cleans up some amount of this. I can draw Saberspine Tiger to kill that. Martyrdom kills that. I have some good draws. Just that none of them are in my hand. That is also terrible. Okay, so I guess I should get in somewhere. If I play Dark Nemesis, does it just die? That's 6 damage. That can't reach it. Opponent does only have 2 cards in hand. I think I might even want to play this just to buy time. Yeah, I think we do that. Kill this Blood Tier Alchemist. Try and get a bit closer to the opponent's stuff in general. No! Not more large minions! They were great in all the other matches, but they're not so good when the opponent has a 5-3 with ranged. Man, ranged minions are so dominant in Gauntlet. I wonder if Crossbones is actually just a really high pick. What? Come on! Okay, I think we're just dead now. Wait, are we dead on board? Probably. Yeah, okay. At least we're actually dead rather than having to go through the motions. Okay, so that really wasn't horrible as a Gauntlet run overall. Like, you know, I've not done that many runs. I think this is my 3rd 7-win of something like 8 runs total. Maybe 9, so that's really not bad. And that's 2 of my 3 post-Shimzar runs being 7 wins. So, we're some of the way to going infinite. I think, like, that deck was fine. It was pretty good. We had nice game plans. Like, we had multiple nice game plans. We had buffer ranged minion, and we also had lay down giant piles of stats, which didn't really come up today. Although the second suns at the end of the first game were pretty good. And we lost the the ranged war with that Raver player, although that's, you know, pretty obvious. I should actually try drafting Songhai at some point. I wonder how many, you know, for each Songhai deck that just ruins you once you get past a certain number of wins with their deluge of ranged stuff. How many decks are there that just can't really get off the ground early on, or have too many situational cards, had bad picks to make? You know, playing stuff like this Scarlet Viper, which just doesn't really do a lot when you're on the defensive. It'll be interesting to see.